Okay. Now, in the last lecture, we have done about the constructor thing.
Yes.
Okay. And say this, okay, this dot color, this dot. Okay. Suppose now I just say okay, in constructor, say this dot model.
Mhm.
Okay. Say this dot price plus this dot color. Okay. Now I have told you that whenever I called an object of the class, okay, so here I have called this subject two times. Suppose I'm not giving any reference. This is how you call an object of the class. Now here I have to pass the
This is
variables
the main
because
one, right, object? This is the main. Uh, so wherever static is there, that is what we will run, right? This is the execution
yeah,
script. Okay.
yeah, this is the main
Yeah,
method.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's why it is stated because uh, internal functions cannot make an object of the class because
Okay.
non-static functions will call by only the making of an object because when we make an object, I have told you earlier, when we make an object, all the non-static stuff will reside over there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now we are talking about constructor. Now suppose if I run this, I have my object calling call for two times. Now if I run this, now you see 2000 100 white for the first one. Okay, what is that? Model, price, color.
Mm. Well, one thing, you there just created an object, but you did not assign to the object reference. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm just showing you that whenever I am making the object,
Uh-huh.
whenever I'm making the object, this constructor is called, and this is the most important question. What is this thing? What is this keyword? This is referencing to the current class, current object. Now, when I
Mm.
say about a new car here. Now this keyword will point towards these three things. When I'm talking about this object, this keyword will point towards these three things. Okay, so I'm just showing you whenever I'm making an object, my constructor has been called. Okay,
Mm.
now if I'm pass, suppose one more, say three, say this one is blue and say 300 and the model is like 2005. Okay, now if I run this, now my constructor has been called three times and this keyword represents my current object.
Mm.
Remember this thing. This is the
Yeah.
most asked question in the interviews. What this keyword represents. You have to say that this keyword represents the current
Class.
object,
Current object. Yeah.
current class or
Class of
current
the current
object.
object.
Yeah, you can say current object. This is the current object. This keyword will represent this. In the if this is a current object, then this keyword will represent this variables. And if this is a current object, then this keyword will represent this
Yeah.
variables.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
See one thing. Now you assigned
mm,
like car one, car two, car three. So
mhm.
now this script worked even without that, without the object
Yeah,
reference, right?
just the thing is that when I make a
Uh-huh.
new keyword, when I using the new keyword,
Uh-huh.
object has been created in my memory space.
Okay.
When I
Then
use
okay.
when I use the new keyword, suppose an object has been created
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
memory.
That is true. But I was
But
thinking always we have to use that as a like class name or reference name, then object creation. Like that, I was memorizing like
why
that.
we use why we use object reference?
Because object is created and we are just referring to that object which is created. That is like syntax wise. Always, I thought we have to use the left side as well.
But why we need a object reference? My
Uh,
question is that
why we need object reference? Because we have to read the value whichever it's in the object.
you are just talking about the technical things. I'm just asking you the just general question that why we need an object reference. We can do it with the object only,
Yes,
but
we
why
have
we
to
need
do with the
object
object
reference?
only.
Why we need object reference then?
Object, why we need means to refer to that object whichever created.
Because when we create an object,
Uh-huh.
there is a memory space allocated to that object. But
Okay. Yes.
where
Yeah.
that object is located in the memory, I don't know.
Okay.
Where that memory location is, I don't know. Because object is created, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But where that is object is located, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, now if you see, this is a just giving you example, this is a male child, birth of male child, birth of male child, birth of male child. But who is who? I don't know.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Who is who? So object reference, say object reference, here is car C1. Okay. I say car C1, okay. This is the name of this object and it is lying over here. Okay. To differentiate between the objects or where that object is lying in our memory cache, we will use C1. C1 is a reference. Suppose you are from South India.
Uh,
Which city?
Trichy.
Trichy.
Mm-hmm.
Truchi.
Trichi.
Trichy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you are going to Trichy
Mm-hmm.
and your Trichy is 10 kilometers away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you see the milestone. Okay. It says Trichy 10 kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that milestone is a Trichy? No.
No.
That's a reference to the city. That your city is 10 kilometers away there. It is pointing towards that city, that you are going in that direction and your city is 10 kilometers away. That milestone is not at all a city.
Okay.
That milestone is referencing to the city. The
Mm-hmm.
same way, C1 is a object reference that is pointing towards the object. But C1 is not at all an object. We are
Mm-hmm.
just naming this object, or I'm just referencing this object. Okay, this object is lying here with the name C1. This object is lying here. This object is lying here with the name C2, with the name C3. And what is this C1, C2, C3? It's a car class. It's a type of car.
Okay.
Okay, it is representing the car. That's why I have named it as C1. But naming is different. You cannot name two references same because now you can differentiate that okay C1, C2, C3. Now same way when you give the birth to the child, now it is male child, male child, male child, or someone say female child. Now how you name it? Okay, this one is this. No, you will name it. This one is you can say Dev. This one is say your you can say Amit, and this one say this is a female child. Say this is your Puja.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so after that naming, you will remember, you can recognize which one is the which. It's the same way is the for the object. I am giving a name C1, okay, and naming of what type? Car type.
Car
Because
type.
my name is class is car. That's why I'm naming it as car C1 equal to C1 is which type? Car
Car.
type or class type. Okay, so this is why we need a reference to differentiate between the objects. Okay, this is
Okay.
C1, this is C2, this is C3, but C1, C2, C3 is not at an object. They are reference to the object.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That I got it, but I thought that we always have to use the reference like that. I was
No,
assuming.
we will use always the reference. I'm just showing you the example. That
Okay,
whenever
okay.
I create the object, how we create the object, if you, it is most asked question in the interviews, how will you create an object? If you answer this, that by using the new keyword, he or she will know that you have the knowledge of object.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, by using this, I have created an object.
Okay,
Okay, they
okay, I
will
got.
confuse you. They will confuse you that why are you not doing this? Because you have to say that this is a reference to the object. It is not an at all object. It is a reference to the object that
Yeah,
my
yeah,
object is lying there in the memory location.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, now,
Yeah.
uh, okay, now I will take one more example. Say here, new class. Say which class name I given. Okay, say function overloading. Now, some I think so. I have told you, but I'm going to tell you again. Sometimes what
Mhm.
happens, we are just forget to click on this main method.
Yeah, yeah. I told me. Yeah.
Okay, now after that, just say ma.
See, like this, when I'm trying to execute a small thing without static, I'm not able to do it. That is where I was. So right now, I just wanted to do a add method without using static.
Mhm.
I Why can't I do just with public class like that? So it was, I don't know, without static. None of the script like it is expecting static all the time.
Yeah,
I mean that public
main
static
method.
void like that.
Yeah, but main method you have to be static. All other methods can be static or non-static, but main
Yeah, yeah.
methods has
Main
to be
method.
static.
Sorry, main method. Yeah, the terms I'm not using properly. Main method. Yeah.
Yeah, main method has to be static. Okay, now,
Yeah, but at least right now I'm just getting the syntax properly, so I'm always telling you the syntax. Yeah.
okay, now I say I have two functions. Say public static int a sum all, and I'm passing two variables. Okay, and say int result equal to a plus b. Okay, and
Mhm.
say I will return result. Okay, now I have same function here, but with different parameters.
Mhm.
Okay, now, now these both functions are static, so I can call it directly. Say int result of 2 equal to sum all, say 1 comma 2. Okay, and say result 3 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, let's say result of 2.
Oh, we already specified internal in the function, right? Should we specify outside too?
Which thing?
So right now we already said int A, int B, int C.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but some you're doing result to. Okay, okay, that is different. Result to result three.
Okay. Now, if I
Okay.
run this, if
Mm.
I run this, it will give me example 3 and 6. Now, but the thing is that function names are same, but
Mm,
parameters are different. Here I'm
yes.
passing two parameters. Here I'm passing three parameters. Okay, this is
Mhm.
known as function overloading. If you see, when I control plus click, it will take me here. Control plus click, it will take me here. Okay,
Okay.
so
Mhm.
the thing is that this is the same function name but different parameters.
Different parameters are used.
Okay, this is known as function overloading.
Okay.
Same function name but different parameters.
Okay.
Okay. Now, uh, eh, mm, okay.
Oh,
Now,
one
mhm.
thing. Uh, okay, you gave how okay how that values are read from that main 3 and 6, right? So you gave in the function you initiated the values, but that sum all 1 comma 2 is the value passed to this function, right, Abjit?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, okay. If you I okay, I think I assumed that like
If
you put
I'm
plus. Yes.
Yeah, if I'm passing two variables, then I have to pass two parameters. If I'm calling this function with three parameters, I have to pass three parameters.
Okay,
Then it will
that is how function. Yeah.
that only it will pick this function. If I'm
Okay.
passing here two variables, then it will pick this function.
Okay. So basically, inside the function, we only have to define the logic, and we have
Mhm.
to just define the variable. But in the main only, we will give
Mhm.
the values.
Yeah,
What it
we
has.
will.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that was like something for me. Yeah, how it is getting passed, like that. I was thinking. Okay, now I got it. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, this function it is integer. It is returning me integer, so I can store this value in integer only.
Okay.
This function is giving me integer, so I can store it in integer only because rule says left hand side LHS equal to right hand side
Yeah.
RHS.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if this function is giving me, suppose if I say mm, bool
It will fail
boolean,
now.
okay, now result suppose I'm return true. Now it will give me an error. Now it says change the type of result to. Now if I'm getting this as boolean, then I have to give it as boolean as well. Whatever the function returning type, this is the returning type of my function.
Okay.
Okay. If it is giving me boolean, then I can store the value of this in this only by declaring it as a boolean. If it is giving me integer, then I have to declare this function as integer. I
Okay.
have already told
A
you
bit
when there
sync.
is if I already told you when there is a void, there is no return type.
Yeah, yeah,
Void
yeah.
function will not return anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is no void, then that function will return you something.
Okay, but in the first one we use always void, but that is like it's going to return only, right? The first one, the public static, the main function always has void.
Yeah, because it is not returning me anything. It is just executing.
Oh, it's executing. Okay, okay, I got it.
It is not returning me because this function is giving me returning the result. What is result? Addition of these two variables. If I'm passing 1 plus 2, 1 comma 2, then result is 3. Then it
Yeah.
has to give me back, give
Yes,
me
yes, yes,
something.
yes. I got it. Yeah,
Okay?
yeah. These are all the small things
Yeah,
why I
because I
because I
want
don't know
this.
the logic, the way how it works. I get confused with these. Yeah.
Don't worry, no worries. So the thing is that I want this result to be here, not to be
Mm-hmm.
there, because I want, suppose this result, I want to write it over here. But if it is not returning, how can I write this over here?
Yes,
Suppose
yes.
if I will say if this is the void function,
Mm-hmm.
okay, if it's public static void, okay, now there is no return type, okay, now I will
Yeah,
just say this one, okay, because it is not returning me. Now
yeah.
what, how I'm gonna get a result of 2? Because that function is returning me the value. That's why I can write it over here. But if I'm not returning anything, I'm not getting any value, the function will execute. Function is going to execute. It will result you here. But I want this result to be in this function, in another function, in my main function, or in any another function. That's why
Mm-hmm.
I will make it as integer so that it will return me something. That's so
But
that,
what if you put a sprint statement in public static that inside this
but I,
function?
yeah, you, that's the thing. Okay, that will work. But the thing is that you can say print result. That's thing. But
But,
my point is that
uh,
it will, sorry,
but should we consider this as a return statement or print statement? Print.
this is a print statement. This is not a return statement. It will print the result. That's the thing. It will print the result. But what I want to use this result in my function here. How can I get
Mm.
that? When this function is not returning me anything, the print will run here only.
Oh,
This
it's
result,
only just printing, but it is not
yeah,
storing in a variable for me to
yeah,
take it, pass on to the another function. Okay.
yes. That's why I have name it as int function so that it will give me the integer, the result of these two, the addition of these two.
Okay. Okay. I got it.
Okay, that's why there is another way I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
There is another way, but right now I am just concerning about okay if this is giving me the integer type because 1 plus 2 I know one is integer a and b both are integers so the addition of both are again an integer. Okay, so this I have to store this value in integer only.
Yeah, but one thing, Abhijit, when you put, for example, when you put Boolean, right? So
Hmm.
return true or false, you are telling, right? So
Hmm.
so for example, int result is equal to a plus b. Return
Hmm.
true. Then means if a plus b means will it return true or what? Like I don't know how
I'm
that.
just I'm returning the simple thing. Boolean can be either it can be true, either it can be false. I just give you an example. Suppose if there is a Boolean here,
Uh-huh.
so I can result it false. I'm just giving you an example that it either it can return true, either it can return false. I'm just giving you an example. I'm not bothered about the situation. I'm just
Okay,
giving an
okay,
example.
one
If
second.
this
I'll just I'll just slow down the volume. அப்பா நான் கிளாஸ்ல இருக்கிறேன்ப்பா அப்புறம் கூப்பிடுறேன். Okay, bye. Yeah, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
okay, so I'm just giving you an example. If this is a Boolean function, then it
Mm.
has to return true or false.
Okay, okay,
Okay, I'm
okay,
not bothered about this right now. If I just comment this one, I'm returning the thing, return false. I'm just
okay,
giving you
okay,
example that if I'm returning here, this is a type of Boolean, then I have to take this as a Boolean only.
okay. I got it. Yeah, but yeah.
RHS is equal to LHS.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Data type has to be same of both the things.
Okay, I got it, Abhijit. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, now result. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we will take more examples to understand more about constructor.
Yeah.
Okay. New say package and say uh, just say more constructors. Okay, finish. And I will again add class, name it as car. Okay, I'm not adding any main method to it. I'm just using this class. Okay, now this class, now car has got the name.
String
Okay,
variable. Mm-hmm.
okay, and it has got the fuel capacity.
Okay.
Okay, now these two things are that is there in every car. Okay,
Yes.
now I will declare my constructor. Say public car. There is no static, there is no void, there is no main, there is no return type, nothing there for the constructor. And just I write a simple print statement that it says in car constructor. This is a default constructor. I have already told you that you have two types of constructor. Either this is a default constructor and
Mm-hmm.
parameterized constructor.
Yeah.
Parameterized constructor is like this, that you are passing the parameters in your constructor. Right now, I'm just say there is a simple constructor. Okay, now I say this car has got the functionality of public void start. Okay, now this function is void. It is not returning you anything. You are just call the function and it will just execute it. Now I just write simple print statement and say car starting. Okay,
Okay.
with name. Okay, now
Mm-hmm.
I say it has again a can say functionality, say public void refuel.
So
Okay,
basically, you are creating many functions
yeah, of
with
the
the
car.
small functions.
Yeah, because car is a name. Now, if I say animal, there are many animals. Okay, animal can run, animal can sleep, animal can eat, animal. So cat is also an animal.
Uh-huh.
Elephant is also an element. Okay, lion is also an animal.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am creating the common functions
Mm-hmm.
like car. It has got the name. It has got the fuel capacity. Now Maruti car has got the name of Maruti and it has a fuel capacity of 1,000 liters. But if I say for the Mercedes, the name is Mercedes and the fuel capacity is around 2,500. Okay, but name and fuel capacity are the common variables.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, same way, refuel, I will say refuel. I just say so yes. Oh, now say refueling car with name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, name. Okay, and say when I call this function, I say fuel capacity is increased by fuel capacity plus 10. Whenever I call this function, fuel capacity will increase by 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we have read about function overloading. Now, what will I do? I will just same name but parameters.
Quantity. Yeah.
Okay, and what will I do? I will just say fuel by quantity. Okay, now when I
Mm-hmm.
talking about the this keyword, I have talked about the this keyword. So whenever I make the object of the class, that if I make two objects, this keyword pointing towards the current object, or you can
Mm-hmm.
say, okay. So now here, if I'm making the object, now I have to pass it here again the param as a parameter constructor so that I can talk about each object. Okay, now what will I do? I will just say I will pass string name
Mm-hmm.
and say int fuel capacity. Okay, and just say in car
String name.
default constructor. Sorry, this is my parameterized.
You're passing the value now. Okay.
Yeah, so that is my parameter constructor, and only one constructor can be there, whether it is default, whether it is parameterized. You don't have two constructors in one class. Okay, now
We already did down, right? Oh, that we already.
I have
Uh,
commented it.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay. Uh, and I have made a parameterized constructor. Okay. Now again let's say this dot name equal to name, and say this
Dot
dot
fuel
fuel
capacity
capacity,
is equal to fuel
fuel
capacity
capacity.
in, yeah, plus water. Okay.
Okay. Now here car with name. Okay. Now
Oh, this is what I said, Abjay, the void refuel. This is what I was trying to say. This is also constructor, right? Like the function, that is function constructor. Okay.
that is constructor means same name as the class name, but with no return type, no void, nothing. If you see public car, only public and class name, public class name, public class name. Just there is
Okay.
no
So
void.
then
the-
the
There
down
is,
one is function construct, function overloader. Then.
yeah, this is a function overloading.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, this is function overloading, and with the same name but different parameters.
Yeah. Yeah. That is what I was trying to say. This one, yeah. Now I'm understanding this. Yeah.
Okay, now I will add one more class, say new class, and I name it as test car, and I will include my main method to it. Okay,
Mhm.
now first, when there is a default constructor, but right now this is not default, this is a parameterized constructor. So I have to pass the, suppose I say car p1 equal to new car. Now first value will be, suppose my car name is A, and the fuel capacity is 100. Okay,
Mhm.
now p1 dot start, it will start the car. Okay, now say c1 dot refuel, it will refuel the car. And if I say c1 dot refuel, now say 20. Now first of all,
Oh,
I
it
will
is
just
taking from
say,
there everything. Okay.
okay, now suppose here I will just say syso, and say c1 dot name, and say yes, and say c1 dot fuel capacity. Okay, now if I just run this, it will give me the two things, A and 100, which I have passed.
Mm.
Okay, now fuel capacity. Now if I say C1 dot start, okay, so car starting with name A, which I have written over here. Okay, just say here, here, here. Okay, car starting with name, I have passed the name as A. Okay, now when I call this refuel function, okay, refueling car with name A.
Mm.
Okay, and this what I have done, I have increased the fuel capacity by 10. Okay, now if I go over here and print my fuel capacity here, what is the fuel capacity here? 100.
100. With
Okay,
yeah, you added something also, right? Yeah.
I have just added the print statement
No, no, no. That
here.
fuel capacity something into or plus.
When I call this function will increase the fuel capacity by 10.
Ah.
Okay, now I want to know that on this line, what is my fuel capacity? Okay, so I just run it again. You see, first the fuel capacity is 100. Now it is 110.
110. Yeah, yeah. This is what I, yeah.
Okay. Now I will call this function with parameters. This will call this functionality and it will increase the fuel capacity by the
10
quantity which I'm passing.
into, yeah.
The quantity which I'm passing. Okay. Now if I write it over here. Okay. Now can you tell me at this line what will be the fuel capacity?
C1 dot fuel. Okay. It's already 110. 130.
Turn it 130.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Mhm.
suppose if I'm not call this function, now what will be the fuel capacity in on this line?
Can we go to that the car thing? Okay, because there you had 100, right? Fuel capacity plus 10. Oh, which
Okay.
one you commented? The first one, first refuel or
Yeah,
second refuel?
I have commented this one. Okay, let's see like this one.
So how do
I have
I know among the two? Okay, okay, okay. You took off that one, right? So in this
here.
case, that plus 10 will go away. So 110 will go away. Then means 110 will go. Then means it should be 120.
Okay. Let's run this 120.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just how I'm calling the function. It's just
Okay.
like that. How I'm calling the function. Okay, now this is the thing that it is about the constructors. Okay, now say uh, now we discuss about inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I will make a new class,
Mm-hmm.
a new class. Suppose I will name it as Honda car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I will go with the main without the main function. Now say string.
So if you write without main function, we should not execute that. We should only use as a storage, and we have to call.
Yeah, the call the functions.
Okay, okay, okay. Now I understood. Okay, that is where I saw you writing separate class. But now, yeah, I did one script like that, but I forgot the real meaning of it. Yeah,
Okay,
now I understood.
now the thing is that my Honda car has got a name. Suppose if I am talking about the Honda brand, it
Mm-hmm.
has 10 names. Say Honda 1, Honda 2, Honda 3, anything. Okay. So it has again got the fuel capacity.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, there is a function you can say which has the start. Okay. Then refuel. Okay. Then refuel quantity. So all the functions are there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now what I am doing, I'm writing the same functions with same variable names again and again in the new class.
Yeah.
Okay, that is wrong.
Yeah. You mean like for
Okay,
Honda
now,
1, Honda 2, like that? We are writing
uh,
for.
yeah, I'm writing for the Honda brand. Then there is a Toyota brand. Then there is a Mercedes brand. So what I'm doing, writing the same function that is common to all the cars.
Okay,
That
okay,
is
I got
start. That is start. That is refuel. Okay, I'm writing the same function.
it. Mm-hmm.
So that is the wrong thing. Okay, so what will I do? I will just delete all this, okay, and say Honda car extends car. Okay. Now Honda car extends car. This means that Honda car is acquiring all the functionality of the car class.
Can we go to the car 1 second? Okay. Okay. This is what. Yeah. Okay, I got it. But this car has main class. Okay.
Okay. Where is
No,
main class?
no, no. It does not have that. The
Okay.
constructor class it
Yeah,
has.
constructor.
Hmm. I,
Constructor
I
is
I
different
I
thing.
confused that with the class. Yeah.
Okay. Now this means that Honda car is acquiring all the functionalities of the car class.
Mm-hmm.
That every functionality that is there in the car class will be there in the Honda car. Okay,
Yeah.
now, uh, okay, okay. Now,
Oh,
suppose
how did you get that one? You just copied it?
if they are coming and if I just hover over the error now, if you see now, you see I hovered over the error and said add constructor. Just click
Wow.
on this.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now say okay. Now say suppose in test car, if I just comment out this one, I say Honda car H1 equal to new Honda car. Okay. And I will pass say mm,
So
any
you're
name.
combining three scripts together.
I'm trying to do just see say 300. Okay. Now there is no functions here. If you see there is no start, no refuel. Okay, but what will I do? Say
Just
H1
the skeleton
dot.
alone you copied as a constructor in separate script for another one.
Okay. Now there is no start function in my Honda car. If you see there is no function, no function.
Mm.
But still I'm able to execute start. If I just run this, you just say starting S22, this name. Okay.
Mm.
Why I'm how I'm execute start function? Because Honda car extends car. Honda car is inheriting the car and all the functionalities of my car class, whether it is start, whether it is refuel, that will automatically used by Honda car. And when I make the object of my Honda car, I can use all the functionality of the car class. Even I don't have any functionality written in my Honda car class, but still I can execute all the functionalities because of the inheritance relationship. Because every Honda car is a car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's why I write it as extends car. When there is the extends car, there is a relationship that Honda car is a car. Okay, when
Can we
there
go to the test car 1 second, Abjit? Test car. Okay. In this, you mainly extend. You only connected this car to the Honda car. Okay.
okay,
Yeah, I got it.
okay. So this is how inheritance happens. Now I can say sorry.
In this, you did not touch anything on the car because we only right now worked on the second and third area.
Yeah, H1 say if you got fuel capacity, uh, say H1 dot okay, sorry, H1 dot refuel. Okay, and say h1 dot
Refill 20.
refuel. Refuel. You can give any quantity, 30.
Okay.
Okay. Now I can execute this now. See, refuel car with name S22. Even I'm not having any function inside my Honda car. Not name with the start. No, there's nothing with the refuel. But still, I'm able to execute these functions that are written in the car class because of the inheritance relationship.
Okay. Okay. You did not write as the word extend means inheritance. Should I
Yes,
understand like that? Inheritance means
yes,
the
yes.
word extend. Okay.
Extends. When I
Okay.
say extends, then
Uh-huh.
there is a, you can say, relationship between that every Honda car is a car.
Okay.
Okay,
And if
technically
I wanted
Honda.
it to tomorrow make for Mazda, what will I do? Like this, again I'll create one constructor and then I'll call in the main class.
I don't understand the question. What is the question?
So this is for one category Honda car. Let's
Yeah,
say for Toyota car, let's say like that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
have to create
The
one
same
more constructor and everything I have to combine only in the main class.
constructor means.
No, what I'm trying to say, so okay, create if you create one more class and you put instead of Honda car,
Hmm,
you are making it as a Toyota.
suppose, yeah, suppose there is a
Toyota.
Toyota car.
Uh-huh.
Name it as any. You can name it as any. I'm just naming Toyota car
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
every Toyota car is a car.
Uh-huh.
When I say is a, there is a relationship.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
it's a car. So car is the main. Yeah, exactly. This
okay,
part I understood now. So
okay,
now from here, what I'm trying to say is now if you copy the constructor again, extends car, and then
okay.
again if you copy the constructor to this, and
Okay.
then here nothing we are
Wha-
changing it.
Yeah, I can give you an example. Why I'm giving this example? Because
Um,
here I'm passing the parameterized constructor. Suppose if I'm not passing any parameterized constructor, this thing. Okay, now there is no need to write like this because I'm passing the parameterized constructor. That's why I'm now you see here what I have to do. I have to pass it differently. Now here I have to pass like say h1
oh, you
dot.
said we can use only one constructor in
Yes, yes.
yeah. So in that case, you
H1.
okay.
Okay.
But
I
there are
say,
two ways. One is plain constructor, another is parameterized. So that is what
yeah.
okay, I got it.
Okay. Now there is no need to write anything, but still this test car will execute. Now say run as Java application now. Okay. Still I'm able to execute.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a this is a simple example. When I use parameterized constructor, then I have to use the word super. You see,
Oh,
okay. Now
we did
here,
not use now when we use
uh,
parameterized.
now you say, okay. Now I'm using the parameterized constructor.
Yeah.
Okay. Now in my test car, it will give me an error.
Oh, we did not execute it. Okay.
Okay. Now here again, I have to do this by using the word super. Okay. Here
Oh,
again, I have to use this by using the word super. That is, it is pointing towards that. Okay, this is name. This is a and with this will be my this thing. Okay. So here I have to use the word super if I'm passing the parameterized constructor. Okay, if I'm not passing any parameters in my constructor, then I don't have to use this type of constructor in my child class. This is child
okay.
class, this is child class, and this is my parent
Me.
class. Car is a parent class because this is being inherited Okay, now if I just give
Yeah,
you an
car is the
example,
parent class, but
okay,
main
now
class is the okay. Main class is execution class. Car is the parent class. Honda and
why
Toyota is
are
the
you saying again and again the main class? Don't go with the main. I'm talking about the classes. The main thing is in the inside the class. Main
okay.
is a function. Main is a function, not a class.
No, the test car script object, the test car script. That is the main script.
The test car is where I'm using all these things.
Uh,
I'm
that is what I
declaring
was trying to say. That is the execution class I was trying to say.
the test car. If you say just say test car, main is a function inside the test car. Okay. Now how I'm here, what I'm doing, what is the relationship between car, Honda car, and Toyota car?
Yeah.
Now this is car, which is parent class. Okay, and it has child. It can have many child.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is child class. Okay. Let's say child class. Okay. It is say Honda
Mhm,
car. It is say Toyota car.
mhm.
It is say Mercedes car.
Yeah.
Okay. And it
BMW.
can be another
Mhm,
BMW car.
mhm.
Okay. Now
These all are
child class.
child one.
It is being inherited from this. Okay.
Okay.
So what will do? So what are the functionality that is present in the car class can be used by their child class, because these all classes inheriting this class. Child class is inheriting the parent class. So parent, so child has all the functionality which parent has.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and the parent is car. So all the cars like Honda car, Toyota car can have the functionality of start and fuel capacity.
Mhm,
Okay, and plus suppose this Honda car. I'm not going with the this parameterized constructor. Okay,
mhm.
okay, okay, okay. Now what say this Honda car, which is a child class of the car class. Okay. Now
Mhm.
all the things which are there in the parent class have there in the child class.
Yeah.
But Honda car have its own functionality as well. And what is that functionality? That say public void GPS. It has the functionality of GPS as well. That is its own functionality. Okay, say Honda GPS. Okay. Now Honda company says that okay, car in my refuel function, when I say pass the quantity, okay, I can give the time as well. In the car class, the function refuel, but I want to implement this function in my child class in a different way. Honda car says when I refuel my car, you can have the time at which time you are refueling. Now Honda car, I just copy this function from here, here, but I will pass one more thing, string time. Okay, so
Mhm.
this is known as overloading. Again, I'm overloading the function because in the parent class, my refuel has one parameter. Again, this function is overloading this function, and I'm overloading this function again in my child class with one extra parameter.
Okay.
I'm overloading the function overloading the
Already had value.
which is okay. Now Honda, I'll just say Honda car refueling at time. Okay.
Mhm.
Now when I say here test car, this is when I call this function now. If I say run it, okay, just a minute. Uh, H1, okay, say here 30, comma, say time is at say 3 p.m. Okay, now, now you see Honda car refueling at 3 p.m. because I have provided additional facility to my refueling function with when I refuel it, it will give the time as well. So different implementation of the same function name in my child class. That is known as function overloading. I am
Okay.
overloading the function that is already overloaded
In the main class. Yeah, in the car parent.
in the parent class.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This function is already overloading this
Already.
function.
Yeah.
Again, this function has been overloaded by this function.
With yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Does it
so
have
this
okay? The
can
same parameter wise, it has two there. It has two, right? Same.
two parameters.
Yeah, but
That's
everything
why
is same.
everything is same. Just
Mm-hmm.
one thing is it has the time facility because facilities matter in the car industry. So if you're giving one thing extra, now you are refueling. That's the same keyword, refuel. But you are providing extra parameters that at which time you have refueled. It will
Mm-hmm.
give you exactly. Okay. So I will halt here.